Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hardcore Metal Detecting Radio Show. I'm Derek Asklar. Mr. Craig Tallow will be on here in a second. We'll be hosting the show tonight. Pretty much open lines. Kind of had a crazy day today, so just got in here, and Craig will be calling in a minute here. Try to get some stuff done. And, oh, man, we got hit with a heck of a thunderstorm over there in Brooksville today. Put me a little bit behind, but we'll get started here shortly here when Craig calls in. But had it kind of just a long week, but I got out detecting a little bit. Actually heading out to the new spot, hopefully this weekend, and be able to get out there and see just what I might find in that old bridge property, I'm calling it, I think. I haven't come up with a name yet, but we talked about it on a show a couple times already with the property where the bridge used to be back in, way back in early 1800s. Yep, hang on a second. There we go. I think we got Craig now. Craig, you on?
Hey, yeah, man.
All right, sorry about that, brother. Crazy day. I was just telling him, I said, we hit a heck of a thunderstorm, electrical storm over there in Brooksville, and I just got everything loaded up and over at Sam's Club there. I mean, that lightning was popping and everything else, but we had to wait to unload this stuff over here at the post. And, well, got a little bit behind, but, hey, got it started by 8 o'clock, so that's good. So what have you been up to, Craig?
Well, we had the 4th of July parade in front of my house yesterday, and it started looking bad about 10 minutes before it was supposed to start. And all of a sudden, it just opened up. It was pouring down so hard, it was unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
And then they basically canceled the parade, and they had fireworks and the car show, and canceled the car show. And
man.
so they had a disc jockey, and, it's a big event. There's a lot of people there. But anyway, then about half an hour later, it stops, it goes down to just barely, even feel it. And so all of a sudden I hear all this noise out front. So I go out on the porch, and I did a video of it, put it up on, they got a site called What's Happening in Middletown. Mm-hmm. And it was funny. I got this post that somebody shared the video, and so I looked to see who it was, and it was a city councilor.
Oh, okay.
And he was mentioning it was the first video of the new logo and everything on the new truck that they have now,
right,
for the town. And first one on YouTube or something like that, And he had a link for my video, and I was like, wow, that's pretty wild. But I just, I had I had about 100 views in about 5 hours.
Wow.
And
it's not bad
I just
at all.
put it up on, on my Facebook, wall, and
right.
What do you call it, on that one site?
Instagram and everything.
But, I did a little bit on that, but I just did a regular YouTube video on my regular channel.
Right.
But I'm up to about 150 views now, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. But anyway, they ended up having the fireworks and stuff, and my cat was like, oh my God, that cat was so upset. Didn't know what to make of those fireworks.
We had World War III out here, I think, last night up until about 1 o'clock in the morning. I had, four neighbors that usually don't shoot off very many fireworks. But, man, I tell you what, they brought out the arsenal this time. I tell you, it was rattling the windows and everything else. Pretty cool, but we went to lay down about midnight, or about 11 o'clock, and it started up again. We've been getting those bad thunderstorms and stuff. I tried to get out the other day. I did a little metal detecting, but, God, man, I tell you, that lightning gets started, because we're so humid down here right now. I mean, it's like, I don't know, we've been in the mid-upper 90s, I think, every day, it seems like. But, the rain comes in, and, man, that electricity starts flying, boy, I tell you. Get out of the fields and get out of the woods, best you can anyway. But That's pretty much what we've been dealing with every day. It seems like it's about normal, I think. The heat isn't. The heat, came on pretty quick. Usually we don't get this kind of heat until like mid to late July, and through August, and then part of September, and then it starts cooling down. But tell you what, it's been a miserable son of a gun for the last month now. It just I don't know. It rains, it gets hot. It's already like a 105 heat index sometimes, and then it'll rain and it becomes a sauna, and you're just baking out there. And that's what I was telling everybody the last show. Watch the heat stroke. Don't get too hot out there when you're out detecting, because it can sneak up on you pretty good. I kind of bring water with you, all that stuff. Be safe about it. If you need to take a break, take a break. But know the signs. I guess the signs that when you're getting overheated. We had a lot of guys coming down here from up north, come down here to Florida and think they can do the same thing, that they do up north. Well, they're not used to the humidity and stuff, and it'll, like I said, I had a neighbor pass out on my front porch, for crying out loud. He's from New Jersey, but it's just a different kind of heat down here. I know, Craig, you've been pretty humid up there too, I think, but it's been on a, it's come on a little bit quicker. I don't know, man. It just, I think it's going to be a pretty bad hurricane season. I got a feeling these storms have been coming in pretty harsh, and they're like storm cells. They're not really, they're like here and it stops raining an hour later. But when it is raining, it's coming down like bucketfuls and lightning and everything else. So, just be careful out there, golfers and on fishermen and all that stuff, man. I've known several people that have gotten hit. Thank goodness I hadn't killed them, but I mean, it's not that far off. Electricity's not something to mess with. But other than that, I got out a little bit. I tried to do some more of the Stagecoach Road, and I found, Craig, I'm finding some weird copper brass things, and I'm pretty sure they're not recent. I just can't tell what the heck they are. They're just, they're not. They have no. It's just like chunks, I don't know if it was a pocket watch that I found. It kind of looks like it could have been, but it's pretty well beat. But I just haven't even worked my way 30 yards into the field yet. I'm just still working from my property line out. I want to go down by the pond and everything down here to see, because I see posts. They're real old. They're barely sticking above the water. But there's some kind of a dock there, and it's been, I got aerial photos back to the 50s, and I don't see anything in that area at all on that, I'm calling it a small pond, lake, whatever. It's not, I don't really see anything in the photos as far as buildings go, but I can see what looks like a dock or something like that in that same area. So it may be very old. I don't know, but I'm kind of working my way down there. It's about 200 or 300 yards down to that pond, and that's probably where they would have taken their, if their team, or if they needed water. I don't know. They just came from the river. The river's not even couple. I guess it's a mile if you come across the toll bridge. That we were, I'm going to be hunting. That's what Bill Marsh told me to call it, the toll bridge property or toll bridge site. The way that we come snaking through there, it's about a mile away from here, but the river isn't that far from me. I mean, it's a couple hundred yards to get to the river edge, or the canalway anyways. So, but I got out there a little bit, and and then of course it starts raining like an hour later. So I've been shut down so many times trying to get out there to detect it. It's driving me crazy because I haven't been out a lot anyways, Craig. So it's like just chomping at the bit to get out there. But I'm hoping this weekend I can get out on that bridge property, and that I already talked to the landowner. We couldn't meet up on last Saturday, but this weekend I'm definitely going to be out there, and I'm at least going to put a coil to the ground for a little bit. So probably just start at the bridge and work my way on by where the house is. It's about 25 yards maybe from where the bridge comes across. So I'm going to hit that area anyways, try to hit it kind of thoroughly. I might cherry pick right off the bat. I just want to see what, swing the coil around a little bit, see what I find, and sometimes it hasn't really been messed with a whole lot, Craig. So I think, stuff shouldn't be really, really deep. I'm thinking, it could be, I would say Indian heads, it could be, like 4 inches down in the ground. Because there's never been anything put there after that. So we'll just see. But kind of not trying to get my hopes up very high. I just want to, because how sites are. They may be the best site in the world, but if there's nothing there to find, there's nothing there to find. So I'm trying to keep my expectations low, and we'll see where it goes from there. But definitely going to get out there. But yeah, it's been a nutty year, man. I can't believe it's already July. Just time flies, I guess. They say when you're having fun. I don't know if I'm having fun or not, but I'm darn sure busy, right? So, but I was working with I took the Bliss tool out this time around. I had the Quest out the first time I hit this spot over here, and I didn't hit anything. I didn't find anything in the first area because I went back over it with the Bliss tool, and I didn't find anything else but a couple. It almost looks like brass tubing of some kind. They're small pieces, about maybe 2 or 3 inches long, and it's a pipe about, I'm going to say a 1/4 inch pipe, brass pipe. I don't know what the heck that'd be for, Craig, but I'm thinking like, I don't know. I don't even know what it'd be used for. I know brass pipe is not something you come across very often. Copper pipe, yeah. But, actual brass pipe, I don't know what they would have used that for back in the day, but I'm sure it had some kind of function. So, like a couple small pieces of it.
Somebody was telling me about finding these, what do you call it? They go over the brass piece that goes over the end of the bull's horn. It's got a name, I can't remember, but I remember finding them, and I didn't know what the heck it was. I knew it was old, but it wasn't until like 10 years later I found out what it was. But
was it round? Is it round? Like a little?
Yeah, it's round, and it's got a hole, tiny hole at the tip, and then a big one that where it slides over the horn, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking the wagon, not wagon, like mule teams or whatever, or when they plow a field or whatever, the what the heck are they called? The thing they fit over their head, they had like these little knobbies on the top of it. It's part of the rig they use to drive the horses, whatever, to get them to plow the field or whatever. That harness, I guess, is part of the harness at the top. Those were round too, and they have a hole through them. And I saw a video. I'm trying to remember the name of the. Oh gosh, it was actually a good video. It's like 25 minutes long, but they were hunting and they actually found one of those. And I'm trying to remember the guys' names. But a well done video. I should have put it up on the Facebook page. I just didn't take the time this morning to do it. But I have to find that and put it on there because they actually did a really good video. Just generally out hunting. They were getting attacked by mosquitoes and stuff like that. It was kind of comical. It was kind of like one of my days going. When it gets real wet out here and everything, and mosquitoes flying by the river and stuff. But God, I think they were in New Hampshire, if I remember right, or Vermont, one of the two. But yeah, they were having a pretty good day. They actually found a cut or $1 or $2, and then they found a cut large cent, literally cut in half. I don't know why. Did they do that back then for a half cent, Craig?
I've seen them like that. Yeah.
Okay, I had never seen one like that. So.
Yeah, I saw one on the Hoover Boys the other day where somebody cut a 3-cent piece, I think, in half. And they go, it's a 1.5 cent piece.
Oh, these were actually 18. You have one with the Liberty facing left and one facing right. And they found both. I mean, it was different years. So the early on one, I think, faces left and up until like 1806 or something like that. And then it's facing, Liberty's facing right. And it goes on from there. Anyways, they found one that had been cut in half, and then they found a real that they could get the date on. It was a half real or something like that. It was cut, and then they found a full one that it was holed, and I thought that was really cool too. And then of course they found the ox. I can't remember what it wasn't an oxen.
I know it is. Ox knob.
Ox knob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
was thinking of.
But yeah, they found one of those. They found a couple other things, but they were out in the middle of the woods, and I want to say it was New Hampshire for some reason, but I might be wrong. I'm trying to remember. It was All Metal. No, it was Serious Metal Detecting. I think that was the name of their channel on YouTube. Because I was actually looking at the videos from Serious Detecting. I saw Serious Metal Detecting. I clicked on it. But check it out. It was actually pretty good. And I don't know. They probably have several videos because it looks like, from the way they did them, they've done them before. You know what I mean? So they have a set way they do them. But it was, I thought it was pretty good. I watched the whole 22-minute video or whatever it was. It was actually really good. So the guys are getting better and better at these videos. And I almost like watching those better than watching TV. So regular TV.
Well, yeah, we look forward to watching. I watch Stealth Diggers on what was it? No, Hoover Boys on Wednesday, and then Stealth Diggers that comes on Thursdays. And they have a regular schedule, and then Stealth Diggers is doing this thing where they have, not every day, but during the week they'll have what's called Not Thursday, and it's like a different type of format, mostly about history and stuff, but it's pretty interesting. But they're on Patreon, and they've raised money and upgraded their cameras and some other things, so it's made a dramatic difference in the videos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So pretty good.
It's just learning all that technology, all the new technology they have to learn. That's Green Mountain Metal Detecting is what that's what Bill Marsh put on here.
I watched that one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, that's another thing. All those guys are getting eaten up with bugs right now.
Yeah.
Stealth Diggers are, and so is the Green Mountain guys.
Man, I hate mosquitoes.
Yeah,
man.
He had a pretty good day. He got like 2 reals in one day.
Yeah.
The other day.
I'm wondering what I'm going to get into by the river. See, we haven't had as muggy and humid and wet it's been. I'm really not getting bit by mosquitoes at all. I mean, that kind of blew my mind a little bit. We've never really had a problem with them right here, even though we're close to the river, because they do a lot of the mosquito spraying. I don't know if you guys. I think it's a engine that has too much oil in it. It's just throwing smoke out, but it's probably not that. But you know what I'm saying? They go around these little fogger things, and they drive around. It's like an engine on the back of a pickup truck. They put a little gas-powered engine and shoot this stuff out there, and it keeps them down. I mean, we haven't never had a problem, but I see them up in like Minnesota. I remember Gunner going up there, mosquito net, and they're just all over it. Just trying to eat them up, kind of like it was with the Green Mountain Metal Detecting guys. They was in their face, down their throat, and I was like, oh my God, man,
I know it.
It's just it's hardcore. I'm sorry, I hate bugs. They're a pain. Mosquitoes are like the most useless thing I've ever seen. all the critters and everything. Honeybees I like. I like honeybees. They're a good thing. They provide a service. But the mosquitoes,
like something bugging you, or always something bugging you or ticking you off in the woods.
Yeah, no doubt. Keeps it interesting. It's part of the adventure. Yeah, you can have an adventure. It doesn't mean it's going to end good or it's going to be good, but you're going to have an adventure either way. So might be good, might be bad. But yeah, that was a harness. Hames harness is what I was talking about. That's with the ox knobs on it. That's what Bill Marsh is a wealth of information tonight. So I think we're just going to refer all questions over to Bill because he seems to have the answers. I don't. So, oh gosh. But yeah, I'm going to get out there this weekend and hit that. I'm going to try to get out there at least 4 hours. I got to be able to do at least that much. I talked to the land overseer or whatever, And, he was like, oh, you can come out here, man. Just make sure I'm out here. Well, he has to open up the gate anyways. It's like a mile drive back through the property to get to this spot anyways. So I got to wait for him to kind of come up and open up the gate and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to get out long before this, Craig. It's been like impossible for me. I literally called Craig on the way home at 10 till 8, something like that. Call him on his cell phone. I'm like, Craig, I will be at the house. I will be starting up the show. I didn't even realize what time it was. I looked down. And I was sitting at the post, and Pauline's actually still there. We drove both vehicles because we had to pick up a bunch of stuff for the post there. And I said, man, I'm going to miss the show tonight. I can't believe it. I thought it was like 6:15. I just lost track of time. And she goes, no, you're not. Get in the truck, go. I'll meet you at home. So it worked out pretty good. But it's just been nuts for us, just crazy running around and everything. But all good. I mean, we can't really complain too much. Everything's been good. And the kids are back up north doing well. So that kind of threw us off a little bit with them down here. But it was a good thing, though. We got to put our eyes on our kids. So now it's time to get busy again, get out there to do some metal detecting because, man, I tell you what, it's been a rough couple of months for me anyways, trying to get out there. Every time I go hunt, well, same thing with you, Craig. Every time you go out, it starts raining. It just can't seem to find the right time of day or whatever. And I really didn't think it was even going to rain today. These storms come up so quick right out of the Gulf or right up the coast, and they hook. It'll hook right into the sea breeze that runs right through our county, right through our county anyway, and it'll just push them right in through. So, but I did work with that Quest a little bit. I really like that Quest Pro, Craig. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to send this machine up to you, let you try it in your yard and stuff like that, just to see. I mean, I know you guys have pounded that to death, but I really like the way it folds up. I can set it right in the front seat of the truck. I mean, both of them, all three of them, if I wanted to. That was one nice thing, to be able to just pretty much slide it together or expand it out. I know the Deus does the same thing, and so does a couple of the other detectors, but it was just really nice to travel with it, because I'm used to, of course, we have to break down, take off the control box or whatever if you want to try to pack it in tight, but I got a single cab pickup truck, so I don't have the crew cab anymore, so I'm having to set stuff. I don't want to set it in the back of the truck, obviously, because it'll bounce around so much, so it's nice to be able to set it right in the cab right there and not take up so much room. I'm kind of getting used to that compared to the Bliss tool where I had all, 2 or 3 detectors and it takes up the whole cab, because you can't shorten them up as much. These things shorten down, I think it was like 26 inches. So it's, you almost set them right on the floorboard right there and let them stand up on end, and they don't really go anywhere. So that was a, nice thing about it. But yeah, I'm starting to get used to it a lot more now. As far as the discrimination, I actually have the discrimination way down, like maybe 20. It knocks out most stuff. I mean, some stuff will come through at 25, but you pretty much can tell just by the way it sounds it's going to be iron. It's breaking up a lot and stuff. It's not repeatable as much. But hell.
Yeah, I used to use the Soros and Nautiluses and stuff like that. We used to put the discriminator on 20, and it would knock out. It knocks out the nails, but it still receives some of the bigger iron stuff.
Right, that's what I figured too, because I'm trying to find a starting point or whatever. You kind of work your way into a field, and I'm kind of guessing where I think the road went, and I'm just looking for some kind of evidence of life, so to speak, or whatever activity, and I'll start working out from there. But that seems to work pretty good on the Quest, anyways. The Quest Pro, just leave it at like 20, and I turn my recovery delay down a little bit. From where I had it at where it's preset at. I'm kind of iffy on that yet. I mean, I know traditionally with the Bliss tool, I don't have to worry about it. With all the other detectors, you're taking away some depth if you run that recovery delay too high. And, I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want a chance missing something, reasonably good at 10 inches down or so. This machine seems to do well on dime-sized targets at like 8 and 9 inches down. It's very repeatable, and it's not like these iffy kind of, there's a high tweak there. It's actually giving me a signal. So I just wanted to move it down, the recovery delay down a little bit. And I think I'm running the gain or sensitivity. They don't even call it a gain. It's a sensitivity about 75, and it goes up to 99. But I mean, I figured that was a good. It handled it fine. I didn't have to mess with the ground balancing at all or nothing like that. I mean, it ground balanced out right away. But I'm blessed with good ground down here too. So, but it did. I did the Quest 40. I think it was. I was able to get a 69 caliber bullet on top of a hot rock and underneath it. So these detectors are punching through hot rocks. So you actually can manually ground balance these things too. They have they call it essentially it's for mineralized ground. It's a ground balance procedure or whatever. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember what they call it, but it's a way of adjusting the ground balance to deal with mineralized ground, to make it more stable. And I didn't really have to do it a whole lot. I mean, even just manually ground balancing the machine on the hot rock, it worked out well. And I can remember when, was it Button Finder, Craig, that was telling us, the Blisstal was the only one, the V3 was the only one he ever saw that could actually, you can ground balance to a hot rock but still pick up the bullet after you ground balance, put a bullet down on top of the hot rock and you can get it with the V3, but with other detectors it was really hard or impossible to do. So that's what shocked me about it, is that, the Quest 40, God, it's a mid-level machine. To be able to do that just really, really surprised me. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting up, up into, maybe even Culpeper again or some other state this year that has some, hotter ground. I know some parts in Tennessee and stuff. I may try. I'm really curious. This machine has really impressed me. I haven't been able to say that, a lot about some of the other machines. I mean, some things they do well, but this one, I don't know. It just seems to have what it takes to get the job done. And we'll find out, as the summer, mostly in the fall, I think, is when I'll really have a lot of time to work with it and kind of go from there. But so far, so good. Very pleasantly surprised, because I'm kind of like the glass half empty guy, pessimist about metal detectors. So find one that actually impresses me that much. I was like, oh, okay, I have to really look at this one now. So it picks up gold. I think it was a 0.5 or 0.9 gram nugget. And it's like a picker, very small, and it picked it up like 4 or 5 inches above it with the Quest 40, and the Quest Pro is better. So I mean, I'm not even, it's a better technology in it. So I'm thinking that, we'll see. The only thing I was kind of surprised about, you only can run, I don't think you can run all 3 frequencies together. You got to pick a frequency. So I've been picking, I think it's 13 kilohertz. I didn't pick the lowest one. I'm trying to remember what they are right now off the top of my head. I can't remember, but there's three frequencies you can choose from on the Quest Pro. I just went with the 13, I think it was, because it just seems, I didn't want to go to the low range, Craig, because that's mostly for silver, and the high range is mostly for gold, or it picks up gold better, or low conductors. So I picked the middle of the road, just to, because the Quest 40 is running a 13 kilohertz also. So I just kind of picked that one out because I was familiar with it, how it's going to react for the most part. But it seemed to work pretty good. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to this weekend, because I think I'm going to take the Quest Pro out, and I'll have the Blisstal with me too. I want to work an area and then work with the Pro and see, or vice versa, working with the Pro first and then go to the Blisstal just to see if I'm missing anything with the Pro. Of course, if it's a deeper item, I'm not going to worry about that so much, because, some of these targets, pennies I've dug at 14 inches down with the Blisstal. So, I mean, I'm not expecting the Quest Pro to pull that off, because that's deep for any machine. But I say if anything's like 10 inches down or shallower, that's a good test for the Pro. Deeper stuff, I'm not going to hold it against it, because it is very difficult to get, dimes and stuff like that over 10 inches down. for most machines. I mean, there's a few out there that can pull it off to like 13 inches. I think I've seen a couple that can do that. I don't know how repeatable it is, or if it's every time or not. But consistency wise, I think this thing will hit a 9-inch dime that's been in the ground for 100 years. Because it's going to have some kind of a halo around it. Because I'm doing fresh buried ones and it's getting it at 9 inches. So it's kind of like no brainer. It's going to do it. So. But I'll kind of put it through its paces there. It's kind of, Craig, it's kind of like, I kind of like it, just to have it in my arsenal, to be able to use it on a spur of the moment or carry along with me, where I don't have to, worry about it so much, taking up so much room in the cab. So have you guys been out in your yard again, or you just been rained out every day?
Yeah, we went out a little bit last week when it stopped raining for a while, but
yeah,
I just all I found was some deep iron and stuff, and I don't think I got anything. I did get a wheat penny, and it was right after the rainstorm, about the day after.
Yeah,
and the ground was just soaking wet, and I got a good signal going into the front yard from the back gate, and I thought, that is crazy. I'm getting a really good signal. It almost sounds like a coin. The signature and everything, and I think it was a 1912 wheat penny.
Huh. That ain't too bad.
So, and it was probably, 8 or 9 inches deep, maybe 10.
Yeah.
But it was, an area where I'd hunted a lot, but it's also, I hadn't hunted there since they changed those phone lines. I'd usually just walk through Usually I just walk right through the gate and then start hunting.
Yeah, I remember you saying those lines were messing with you a little bit, and you had to adjust them out or something, on the frequency. Mm-hmm. Go to whatever iron ore mode. But I know you said that Mike was having a little bit of issue with the Deus in that area before they put those new lines up or whatever, or got rid of the old ones.
Well, yeah. He was. He turned down. I told him try to turn down the sensitivity, and he turned it down about, down to about 80, and it cleared it right up.
Good.
So he was able to hunt, but now he's able to pump it back up a little bit. So,
between the bottles and all the relics you guys found there, my gosh, that.
But this is funny. I was out front taping the parade, and this lady was kind of standing near me, and she was looking over, and she said, she goes, so she starts making this swinging thing with her arm, and she goes, I think I've seen you in your backyard doing this. And I go, oh, you mean metal detecting? And she goes, yeah, I think that's what you're doing, isn't it? And I go, yeah. And she goes, do you find anything? I said, yeah, well, you wouldn't believe what we find. I was telling her stuff, So it turns out she's on the other side of the alley toward the park over there. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, they get. It's funny how people. Like I got some of the ladies at the Post and stuff like that. They check the Facebook page and they see what's this hardcore metal detecting radio. So that's the podcast that me and Craig do. My buddy. And you do? Was it like a real radio, AM, FM? That's what one of the guys said. I said no, it's a podcast radio. I said it's through the computer, but you can download it and you can play it over your cell phone through your speakers in your car or whatever. And they're all getting into it now. They're like, and I said it's not the only show on there. They got bunches of shows, different topics, everything
hundreds
else.
Of thousands.
Yeah. It's
hundreds of thousands of shows. I mean, anybody can do it. There's professional ones. There's companies doing them. There's disc jockeys. There's music. Everything. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's growing all the time.
They thought I was on AM radio, Craig. That's what they thought. I was on AM radio. I said, I wish I was on AM radio. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if you're in your car, we probably have better sound than you do through the radio.
No doubt.
On AM.
But yeah, they were all, a couple of the ladies there, they were, of course, we all share Facebook pages and stuff like that, with the VFW and all that stuff. And like, oh, what's this? And they click over and they like the show and everything. And I'm like, oh, it's, or the Facebook page and everything. And I said, yeah, we talk about anything. I said, it's not like, you don't have to be like really into the hobby to listen to the show. I mean, it's just, fun. It's informational. It's, there's no formatted. We just kind of go with the flow of it. And, we have callers call in and that kind of thing. Or we might have a guest on, or we might just do open lines. And so a couple of the guys in there thought we were actually on the radio. I said, yeah, I wish, but we're not good enough for that.
Well,
But
it's like Nielsen was, those people from Nielsen were telling me that they count podcasts as part of radio now.
Yeah.
And then when I went on that app that's called My Tuner Radio on iOS, it's a free app, and it's got you just put your radio stations in you want. So I saw this thing for podcasts, and I hit it, typed in Hardcore Metal Detecting Radio, and it popped right up.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I tested it, and it worked, So I was going, I guess it is. I mean, it's huge.
Oh yeah, it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. I told it was one of the guys up there. He goes, you thought we were on FM AM. And I said, no, we're podcast. Oh, how much does that pay? I said, it's not really paying that much. 4 or 5, maybe $600,000 a year. And he just looked at me. I said, no, I'm just joking, dude. He thought I was there. I'd have heart failure if I ever made that kind of money. Shoot. I said, no, we just do it for fun, man. It's a fun time. It's not about the money. Never has been about the money. I mean, if it was about that, we wouldn't be doing it. So we just kind of go with the flow, and everybody kind of, checks in, or they'll download it, or what have you. It's kind of nice to hear people that weren't in the hobby, so to speak, getting into the hobby, or at least, showing an interest in the hobby. And now they guess, well, what did you find today? So it's kind of nice to be able to talk. And these guys aren't, a lot of them aren't tech savvy at all. I mean, I got some of them have, still have flip phones. They said, well, we're not smart enough for a smartphone, so we stick with these. And I told them, I said, yeah, it's turning out to be not only a VFW, but it's also a cell phone repair and service station and everything else. Computers, if they have a problem with their computer, they're always, stop by. Hey, can you fix my computer? Or can you fix this and that? I'm not a professional by any means, but it's stuff that's, I don't know, I think we take for granted. A lot of the guys and gals on here too. We deal with these computers and these smartphones all the time, and they screw up or whatever, and but we kind of know our way around them or how to figure it out. Go to YouTube, whatever. These guys, and gals, they don't have that. They don't, they just know they have a phone. They want a text message. They want to call, and their phone's not doing it, and they're getting ticked, which I understand. I've been there. So, I take the extra time just to kind of get their phones so they're not getting all these, the ones that do have smartphones are getting pounded by notifications and stuff, and just I'm saying, hey, don't use this, don't use this. All it's going to do is bug the crap out of you. Just keep it simple. If you don't want to deal with all that internet stuff, you don't have to. You can just run, just your typical text message and your typical phone calls. And that's all they care about, a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the interest just continues to kind of, go along. And, I don't know, some of them are even saying they're going to buy metal detectors, just trying to try it out. So I said, well, heck, I got a couple extra, let you horse around with them a little bit. And that's how you get new people in the hobby anyways. And the kids, their kids are actually bugging them too. I want to do what Mr. Derek does. I want to go have an adventure, so I know they're listening a little bit anyway. So it's kind of nice. I like to, get them involved in something else. Cause a lot of them, we got a lot of golfers and stuff and well, metal detecting, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want to. I mean, you know as well as I do, Craig, there's some days you go out there and you might only go out for an hour. Other days you want to go, 10 hours. It's just, you get into that mode. But they started getting the idea because they were watching videos. Several of them were other people metal detecting and stuff, and they noticed, well, these guys are, they got this and they got this shovel and this big expensive metal detector and all that. Do I really need that? So no, it depends on how. I mean, you can use a regular regular old garden shovel. That's what I use most of the time. And you don't need to have a $1 million metal detector. I said, you go out there to have fun, to enjoy it, get some exercise. That goes right along with it. You dig enough holes or whatever, but it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're finding something, that's what it's all about, finding something and getting out in nature. So they kind of calmed them down a little bit because they're watching our videos and like Stealth Diggers and, all these guys, Hoover Boys. And, these guys are, really into the hobby. You don't have to be like, hardcore into the hobby. You can just go out there once on a weekend, once a month, as long as you're having fun doing it. Once they find something good, as well as I do, they're going to be out there every day if they could do it. So,
yeah.
So yeah, it was nice to see that. And there's the wife. She just walked in the door. I made it, babe. We were on by 8:00. She's laughing, but yeah, the dogs handled the fireworks good last night. Craig, Loki don't even care. He hears a boom. He goes out there and looks. The little dog goes crazy, but he's not. After about the 25th explosion, he kind of got the gist of it that people were having fun. We weren't getting shot at. Of course, I'd say
Morgan didn't like that sound at all, man. He was right up. He was had this wild look on his face. Well, but we're like a block and a half. Well, not even. Yeah, about a block and a half from where they were going off. It was loud. I mean, it was rattling the windows and stuff. It was bouncing off the houses across behind us,
yeah,
on the other
echoing
side of the street and coming back. So.
I remember we had Macy was a service dog. My niece is Marine Corps. She's in the Marine Corps. It was a service dog for her, but the dog had actually PTSD also, believe it or not, and it was because it was in. It doesn't like explosions. It was it heard a gun go off or something, and it would literally. She just wanted to get underneath the bed, literally, Craig, a big old bulldog. So it'd freak her. I always felt bad about that, but I just kind of, when we knew there was going to be fireworks, like on New Year's or whatever, I just opened up our bedroom door and just let her go in there and make her own little safe place underneath there. But Loki's, it don't bother him a bit. He got startled at first, but then he was just totally fine with it. So that was kind of nice to see too. I didn't have to worry about him freaking out. So she's, oh yeah, my wife was going to mow the lawn for me the other day. And she did. She did a good job. Up until the time she went over to my test garden where I was using a hot rock from Culpeper. I found out that can explode into many different pieces as she ran over it, and it flung it all over and stuck in the wood on the shed and landed on the roof. I think that chunk of hot rock probably broke into at least a dozen pieces when she hit it with the lawnmower. So I don't have that hot rock anymore. And she told me don't leave crap in the yard. We're on the radio. You can't use curse words. She said, if it's laying in the yard, if I can get the lawnmower over it, it's getting mowed. So yeah, my test garden got hammered. So I got to redo it. At least the markers for it. So I'm just glad I wasn't standing by her when she hit a brick a couple months ago, and I still got the scars. It had radar, man. I'm standing 30 feet away, and that thing flew out. I didn't even have enough time to react, man. It caught me in the inside of the arm and my rib cage. I think I don't know. I got a scar both places. And I said, "Don't run over the brick." She goes, "I can't see it, so I'm going to run over it anyway." So now I got to kind of guide her where she can go and where she can't. I'm famous for doing stuff like that. Start a test garden up wherever I want to. Because I thought you were doing that over there. No, I'm doing it wherever I decide to do it, wherever the sun's not shining. So I get underneath the trees or whatever. So it's kind of comical sometimes. Of course, I get cussed out. My neighbors think I get yelled at all the time because of it. But hey, whatever. It's only a few droplets of blood, right?
I'm the wife and I'm right.
She's the wife and she's right. Well, I learned that a long time ago. It just, to get the last word in every argument or discussion when you're married, just say yes, dear. That's the perfect answer. Then she can't crib at you, right? Right. At any rate. But no, I'm actually going to move. I have most of the test garden done on the one side. And I'm actually thinking about starting up a different one, a more in-depth one, out of the way a little bit more. I had started it on it already. I'm going to keep the one section I have done with the chain link fence test, and by putting quarters on the chain link fence buried in the ground. And I have a few, the mineralized ground test, the soil from Culpeper. I have it in tubes with coins or whatever at the bottom of the tube buried in the ground. So those are easy enough to remove if I wanted to. But I think I'm just going to leave that section there, Craig. I'm just going to leave it marked out. I buried the bricks now, so she can't kill me with them. Yes, I said kill me because I know that's what you want to do. At any rate, but yeah, I'm going to leave that section of it, and I think I'm going to move it over to the other side, totally out of the way. I'm just not looking forward to spending 3 days digging out iron and copper and everything else out of the ground to clean it up. I tell you what, I've never spent so much time in a 20 by 20 area in my life, and it was getting monotonous after a while. But I did get all the iron out of there and everything. Shoot. It looked like a rototiller went through there. Every square inch, I think there was a nail. But yeah, it's a clean test ground anyway. So you guys are going to start doing your excavating if it ever starts raining.
Yeah.
God.
We got like 4 or 5 days off, and then now yesterday just opened up again. But
yeah,
I don't know. We got plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually more worried about the fall. See, we usually get our hurricanes here in Central Florida or whatever it seems like August, September, October, even into November sometimes. But that's when the worst ones come. I don't know. I think up this way. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's been a typical. I think because of the way the cold was, we didn't get a lot of rain, and then all of a sudden, the way the weather started out, we're already ahead of the game right now. It started getting heated up about a month earlier. The real dog days of summer started earlier this year, so I don't know what that means for hurricane season, but these storms coming through, man, if that's any reminder. We'll see what happens. Maybe we don't get any. I hope we don't, but I did talk to shoot. God, I'm the worst with names. Never mind. I'm not going to bring it up because I can't remember his name. But he was working a beach, a cut, and they hadn't been filled yet or whatever. They hadn't brought the sand in. And he was actually finding barber dimes and stuff like that. It was a beach down in, it's on the West Coast. And I can't remember what beach it was. But he found a couple barber dimes, which is kind of very uncommon as far as I've never found one on a beach. But he was using oh my gosh, I want to say he was using a Beach Hunter ID from White's, but they weren't real deep because of the cuts. They still cut out pretty good. But I know Mike Miller went out to that one. He had to take a boat ride out to an island. And it was a sandbar, and I can't remember. He dug like $20 in change. He got tired of digging change. That's how much clad was out there. Every once in a while they get into a pit of it, and it's like you can't get just one signal. It's like there just keeps on being signals there. So you just starts digging it out, and just sifting it, with the sand scoop, and kind of going that way just to get the change out of there. You get these cuts where it all settled at on these beaches, and I'm sure they've already done this a lot along the East Coast where they've pumped sand in to make the beaches look pretty again. I don't know how far along they are on it. It's been about 7 or 8 months, so they probably have it about done or continuing to do it. So I don't know how the guys on the East Coast are doing, but I'm sure it was pretty good for a while anyways. I don't know, did you hear anything at all, Craig, after the hurricane, whether they, Florida fines along the coast?
Not really.
I didn't hear a whole lot. I mean, it surprised me.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how it, hits. I guess if it hits at more of an angle, it, tear up the beach more down, like they want it to. But
yeah.
Then again, sometimes it can, pile the sand up.
Yeah, right. You just, until you get out there and really look at it. About, was it 05? '04 or '05 when we got the 3 hurricanes come in. I know they were digging a lot of stuff along the coast. There was some really old stuff found, relic wise, and some of it. Well, I think that's when that bronze toothpick with the animal head on it was found. I think the guy said it was. Oh shoot! It was way back. I mean, we're talking. I want to say it was 400 or 500 years old or something like that. I can't remember the exact date of it, but it was could have been off one of the ships or whatever, the wrecked ships or whatever. But he found it right on the beach, just after the cut. It was like 12 foot of sand that was pulled out of there, and he hit it through there. I think it was Bob from New York Bob, or Bob from New York or something like that. He was down here. He found that. God, man, my memory's shot. Sorry, Craig. I had that in my head a minute ago, and I was going to tell you about it. Now I can't remember it now. I need to start writing stuff down. Give me a second screen here, but now we're looking on here on chat here. We got Jaron on tonight and Robert Walgass, and I saw Bob D on. Of course, Bill Marsh and Jason's on tonight, too. Nice seeing y'all. I'm trying to catch up on chat here. Oh, never mind. Okay, that you guys are talking about UPS and stuff like that. Kind of UPS got me all thrown off there a little bit. But anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
I got a crazy thing that happened this morning. I was looking on the news site, and they said that something about Facebook deleting the Declaration of Independence is like hate or something, or bad for the community, not good for the community or something like that, broke community standards or something like that. So I go on Facebook, search for it, and a guy had put the Declaration of Independence. He typed it out on a post, the whole thing, and supposedly now Facebook is saying that some bot, robot or whatever, flagged this as some kind of hate message. So anyway, I shared it, and I tried to put a header on it, and it wouldn't allow me. And then the rest of the day, every time I wanted to, put a header on a article I was sharing, it wouldn't let me do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, correct, because I just don't know and I don't remember. Facebook is owned by somebody in the U.S., right?
Yeah,
Company?
Zuckerberg.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to kind of, I got some bad things I want to say, but I'm not going to say them. I mean, I'm sorry, Declaration of Independence, that's kind of sacred in our country. It's what our country was founded on for the most part,
Yeah,
Give me a break.
Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
I just can't fathom that, why they would even do that.
Somebody said it's being filtered through BuzzFeed.
Okay. And what is, yeah, because I don't know what that is.
Well, they got a couple. Another one's called Snoops, and they basically check everything for fake news. But they've been caught, taking legitimate views and not liking them, or and that's what everybody's thinking about this one. But
yeah. That's why I hate politics, man. It sounds like a bunch of politics to me.
Well, it's okay for one side, but not for the other.
Right.
That's the trouble.
Right. You start messing with the Declaration of Independence, the flag. Well, there was a.
Well, especially excuse me, it was 4th of July.
Yeah, come on. It's part of.
God,
I always thought I love my country. Sometimes I can't stand my dang government, but I love my country. Back off. Well, they were talking about that with I think it was a Star Spangled Banner about 6 months ago. They were saying, there was a, it was meant this way or meant that way. I'm like, come on, you guys are beating up on our own country now. Get over it. It's a lot of people fought for that stuff.
It's like outside for the last 2 weeks. There's been American flags on both sides of the street.
Right.
Every 20 feet. For 6 or 8 blocks, maybe more than that. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of them out here too. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and people along Main Street, have all kinds of banners and stuff they've been putting up, and it's just cool. You just don't see stuff like this nowadays, in a town or a city or anything.
Yeah,
it was pretty wild. They have horses. All these there was a whole bunch of young women that were obviously, taking care of horses and stuff,
Right.
It's pretty much as, cattle and horses around here because it's more grazing land. Mm-hmm. But, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just get frustrated with it, and it's all, I don't know, it's not even really worth talking about other than the fact that, back off of the Declaration of Independence and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I mean, we got a great country here. Why are you trying to alienate people or whatever? I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to piss people off is what they're trying to do. They're going to get to that pretty quick because people are going to have enough of it. But I don't know. Facebook really needs to get their head screwed on straight. I mean,
well, they're being investigated by the Security and Exchange Commission and also the I think World Trade. And I think they got fined big time over in Europe. I'm not sure. I know Google did too. But, they got caught again lying about the privacy stuff.
Right.
And they directly lied to Congress. Zuckerberg did about that, they're not collecting this data and giving it to other companies. And it turns out it's not true.
Yeah,
they were selling the information.
Yeah, Google's doing it, and they're all doing it somehow, shape, or form. But I've been frustrated with Facebook. I mean, guys, I'll be honest with you. I go around and check out your Facebook pages, and if you make a post or like Dave Ettinger, Bill Marsh, whoever, Sam Waters, I'll check out because I get notifications for them. But really, I haven't been doing a whole lot on there because it's just God, I'm getting hammered. It's like I don't want to. I'm getting all this. I'm just going to call them the floozies or whatever you want to call them.
Oh my God!
God, just unbelievable. It's like, get a grip. I mean, how many times do I have to block you and mark you as spam? I mean, come on. We're trying to. I don't think it would really bother me when they start posting up weird stuff like, the guy with the fake IDs and all this stuff, or the gold. The guy with the diamonds and the gold keeps on trying to. Get through on our Facebook page and stuff. I keep on blocking them. The guy wanted to sell stuff or whatever, and it's like, God, come on, give me a break. I don't want any blood diamonds or anything like that. Keep all that, chaotic stuff away.
Yeah, I haven't been getting any. I haven't been getting any of that in a while, but I get the floozies all the time. But
well, there's one guy at the post today. I mean, he's using a flip phone or whatever. Gets a call today, said, well, they were informing me that his Social Security disability or whatever, or Social Security, they're taking it away from him. He violated and he needs to pay this fine or whatever. And it was BS. I mean, but the guy, it kind of freaked him out a little bit. I said, dude, if they want you, they will come and get you. They will come and be at your door or send you a certified letter. They're not going to call you up with a robocall and say, well, please turn yourself in or pay this amount. They're going to come and get you. If IRS or whatever, they want you, they're going to come and get you. So don't be fooled by that. You'll definitely know that they want to talk to you. So because that's what they do. They freak these people out, and they're like, oh, it's only $200. Let me take care of it now so I don't have to deal with it anymore. Well, you're just paying somebody money that doesn't have anything to do with anything. But, they're not in the know of what's going on. I think they had another thing here with the sheriff's department, too. And they were after them for calling people and asking for donations for the policemen, for officers that were killed in the line of duty and this and that, which they have a legitimate group that does that. But this is just fly by night individuals that have nothing to do with the sheriff's department or whatever for that fundraiser. and they were calling people, and that really ticks me off too. I mean, our officers and fire department guys, I mean, they put their lives on the line, and they do, they provide a great service for all of us, and they protect us. I mean, they shouldn't be messing with them in that aspect, telling people, oh, you got to give money, and if you're not part of it, so that's been going on. The IRS calls, just kind of hitting everybody. It doesn't even matter if you have a smartphone or not. What do they call them? Robocalls, Craig? Is that what they're calling them now?
Yeah. I don't know if they're robocalls. That doesn't seem to come through. These are just plain spammers. I mean, you can actually, get their address almost over, Google. A lot of times one of the things to giveaways, it'll ring like a half ring or one ring and
hang up,
stop.
Yeah. Right.
And they, what they do is a lot of people are curious. They want to see what's going on, and so what I do is I check on my phone to see what the number is,
right,
and then Google it, and all of a sudden you see this page full of spam stuff, and you go, oh, that's what it is.
Do they have a way of blocking these doggone things? When, like on my house phone, I can block numbers, just not through the phone company, but through my phone itself.
From what I see, I've been getting this one that's Chinese, and I get it about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks now. At first,
right.
I was getting it like 4 or 5 days in a row, but it's a different number every time now, and it's all over the country. One of them is from Oklahoma, another one's from New Jersey, New York. There's a couple from Virginia, different areas.
Wait until the caller ID has your phone number on it, Craig. I've had that happen 3 or 4 times already this month, or last month, I'm sorry, where I pick up the phone and look to see who's calling, and it's my phone number from my house phone, and I'm answering on my house phone. That's another one. That's got to be illegal, And, what bugs me about it, too, is it's like, you try to protect. I don't know, like when you accept a friend request and this and that, they talked about, they can get your friends list and stuff like that. Well, I got like 3,000 friends on my personal Facebook page. I don't even know how much we have on Hardcore, but you try to protect them from this crap, and I don't even know if there's a way of doing it. If getting your friends list, I've heard of that happening to people,
yeah.
And I do everything I can do to stop it. I just, of course, we're not computer geniuses or nothing like that, but
one thing they were doing is people were cloning people. I haven't gotten one in a while, but I had this one guy clone me, and then he cloned this guy that I knew, and the guy is rich, and yet he sends me this message about winning $90,000 through a
right.
UN Facebook Zuckerberg donation thing.
Right.
And so I thought, that's weird. So I checked it out, and the guy says, "Oh wow, you're qualified for $100,000, and all it costs is $1,000, $1,050." Right. And I go, "How come it costs that much?" And he goes, "Oh well, you got to, certify the driver, and and they said you can get the check or cash." And I said, "I'll take cash." So how much, give me more information. So, and I started checking into it, and I thought, this is weird. The guy I know, he's already rich. I mean, he's got a computer company.
Right. They wouldn't need to do it.
The guy manufactured rackets, Wimbledon rackets. I mean, the guy,
Yeah, $90,000 is not enough for him to look at it. He's pretty well set.
And I didn't hear from him very often. I knew him from tennis camp, over the years. And so anyway, I finally, track it down to what it's all about. And it was definitely a scam, but I just wanted to find out what are they doing. And I finally, I remember I went to sleep. I couldn't figure out how are they doing this. And then I suddenly realized they had they'd cloned this guy. They'd taken his whole Facebook, thing and pretended to be him.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when you clicked on it, it looked like his page.
Right.
Except there was a couple of differences. And
well, you said the friends list was only like three friends on his friend list, which he had a ton of them.
Yeah.
I always tell them, Craig, next time they do that, they say, well, it's going to cost you $1,000 to get 100,000. I said, well, you know what? Just take it off the 100,000. Just send me 99,000. You're going to send me cash anyways, dude. Just take the money and go ahead and get, tell you what, take $10,000. Just send me 90.
Yeah.
The guys laugh at me at the bar because I get these telemarketers, whatever the heck they are. I answer the phone. I can tell right off the bat. I just set the phone on the bar. And he goes, well, aren't you going to hang up? I said, no. They're going to waste my time. I'm going to waste some of theirs, too. They always end up hanging up anyway. It used to be where they had to stay on the phone with you until you hung up. Or, you know what I mean? They had to stay on.
Right.
But now they don't do it anymore. Matter of fact, you can't even get one word out. Don't put me on your do not call list, but you say do not, and boom, they hang up on you right away. And it's like, come on. I just wish there was a way just to block them on my phone. I guess I haven't figured it out yet. There probably is an app for that, but I just, that way I could just block them right off so that, it doesn't even ring. Just shows that, there's a block call without having to pay for a service, you know what I mean? It used to be you had to pay for that, every person. Of course, I have 200 and, well, more than that now, probably over 300 blocked on my phone right now.
Really?
Oh, God, yes. And, they just pound the crap out. It doesn't even matter. I thought, well, maybe it's because I had my number on the, for Blissful America and everything. I had the numbers on there, but it's not even that because they call Pauline's. They call, any phone number we have, they call. And it's not even on the internet or whatever. We don't use those numbers. My friend of mine has an Obama phone, and or whatever you call them now. The little flip phones or whatever. And he gets
it's a free phone, yeah.
Yeah, free phone, whatever. But yeah, I just try to protect people in our realm, our in the metal detecting community and stuff like that. If they're able to pull from friends lists or email accounts and everything, you try to protect the best you can. I mean, of course, I don't want this stuff either, but I don't know. I know that several of the guys on here told me they've been kind of steering away from Facebook a little bit with being on there. They look around and everything, but they're not as active as they used to be. I just see on Jason Julian, he's on chat right now. He dug his first chain at the beach, and he thinks it's a gold-plated 925 sterling silver, 22-inch long Figaro. Nice chain. It says it's Italian 925. That's another thing, too, with these chains. And Pauline probably know more about this than I do. And I'll have to get her on. She ran a pawn shop for years, so she's used to dealing with the fakes, so to speak. They say made in Italy or whatever, and it'll say gold. But we've gotten some that are just dipped in gold. It's really brass, and she's real good about seeing them. I got fooled one time, and only because of the clasp was an 1800s kind of a clasp that would hold the chain together. And it was gold. It was brass dipped in gold, like a heavy dip. What did you call that, Pauline? Is it a heavy dip where they dip it in gold instead of plate it? That one gold chain I bought at the market?
Yeah, it's called dipping.
Dipping, yeah. So, you can't, it looks like gold. It's thicker than like a plating. It kind of fooled me. She figured it out. But it does say, 18 karat gold on it. Real small, print and everything. And that could just be the clasp itself. So you guys got, watch that. I mean, some of this stuff, somebody tries to sell you something cheap. be aware. There's a lot of fakes and a lot of fake, of course the diamonds are a whole different ball game. They got all the zirconian, and I don't even know if that's still a problem, Craig, is it? The fake diamond thing? Probably still is. We had diamond testers and stuff.
You want to go to the whole diamond business is, almost like a criminal operation, the way they jack the prices up on all that stuff.
I will never buy. We bought one diamond, and it was for her. I call it an engagement ring, but it's not. It's more or less an anniversary ring. And she picked it out. We don't go to Zales or the diamond outlet or anything like. We just, if she sees the ring she wants, I get it for her. Like a pawn shop or wherever. But she found a real nice one. One of the stones came out of it. That's about the only diamond I've ever bought for the ring or for a ring before. But man, I'll tell you what, they're not cheap when you're buying a registered kind of to get the diamond the same as the rest of them. That's a whole different ballgame, man. You can get into thousands and thousands of dollars over that. We were lucky; we didn't have to pay that much. But she's smart about it. But of course, she dealt with it all those years. She has the diamond testers and all that stuff, and I'll find this stuff on the beach or whatever, and she usually within 30 seconds tells me whether it's real or not, even if it really does look real. But it's happened opposite. That friend of mine finds this big, he thought it was a brass bling chain, real thick and everything, and he had it in his car for like 2 months. And he took a guy out to go metal detecting, and the guy said, "Oh man, look at that." He goes, "Yeah, I found that on the beach. It's junk. It's not real." "Oh, it's got to be real. Got to be real." And my friend's telling him, "No, it's probably junk. It's way too big, too heavy. Take it over there." And it was a $5,000 gold chain. Took it to a pawn shop, and they tested it. It was real. And he had it sitting in his car on his gear shifter for like 2 months. It's like, so you do get it both ways too, but it usually doesn't work out to your favor, put it that way. So, the fakes, the clones and everything, what do you call it? The pinpointers or the detectors you were telling me about, Craig, that they wanted you to buy, the pallet of metal detectors. I think it was,
well, they didn't want me to. They just said, this guy said, if you want, I can get you a pallet of, AT Pro knockoffs for basically about $75 a machine.
Jeez.
And they actually work, and get them straight from China. And I was like, God.
That's a whole nother ball game to get me started on. That whole Chinese thing, they're bringing stuff in or whatever. There's what do they call it, the tariffs and all that. Trump's trying to get moved through or something. The hell, I've been dealing with that. That's one of the reasons why I stopped, dealing with the, buying from out of the country. As far as being an authorized distributor, because good God, the charges and you just never know. Then you get hit by your own U.S. Customs so hard. Sometimes, when they start they open up a package or they charge you extra for that. And pretty soon you have these additional charges on an order. It's like, well, you know that, Craig. I mean, we've been slammed before. It actually costs more than the shipping to get the detectors in here. So I don't know.
I don't know. And then you got the euro fluctuates and.
Oh yeah. That never ceases to amaze me how every time I don't need machines, the euro goes way, it's almost even with the dollar, sort of, within 10 cents. When I have to buy machines, or when I had to buy machines, it would be like 30 cents difference. And you don't even want to go to the British pound because the British pound is like crazy. I think it was $8 US to £1 British pound. I think it was at one time. It was a crazy difference in the percentage that you had to pay or whatever to pay for something in a pound or euros or whatever. And that's why a lot of these companies over there want you to pay them in. So they don't want to pay in U.S. dollars. So, yeah, it's a whole rigmarole I had to learn that I didn't really want to learn, but I did. So, yeah, you got to be careful. I guess you got to have the backers too.
Well, they also, I mean, I didn't know much about these tariffs and stuff, but it pretty much we've been getting screwed for years.
Oh,
and nobody's done anything about it. They were getting upset because the administration's not using diplomats and stuff to work with this, and that's the problem.
Right.
When you got the bureaucracy in charge, then all of a sudden it takes forever.
Well, I think they should just keep metal detecting and other hobbies stuff out of that. I don't think we should have to pay tariffs on hobbies. I don't know if that won't go through.
Yeah, I mean, it's a high dollar item too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Gets a bit of a fiasco.
I don't know. It's been a mess over there with the euro anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I see these coins that some of them are steel that they're making now.
Oh yeah. Over in the euro, isn't a euro or one of those is essentially plated iron or whatever, some kind of junk metal.
Like gold-plated iron or steel or whatever. I don't know. But it's crazy. I was watching a guy he does mudlarking, where he goes along beaches and eyeball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's over in Scotland or Ireland, Scotland, I think. And he's finding some really interesting stuff. But he was finding euro coins that were just they were rusted, just rusted discs.
Yeah.
And he's going, look at this, only a few years and they're like this already.
Oh, it's like the pennies. I mean, our U.S. penny, the shield penny or whatever been putting out for a couple of years, they're just
anything
zinc,
anything since 1982.
Right. Oh, these new ones are even worse, Craig. These newest pennies, man, they get hammered in that wet salt water, sand. My gosh, they just like a year or so and they're done. They're just so distorted. At least some of the ones I found, they pretty much they look like I don't know. You can't even tell they're pennies really, and they rot.
All these zinc pennies are, you can't see anything on it. It's the size of a penny, and because of the corrosion look of it, the zinc. There's no copper on it anymore. It's eroded away.
Right.
But I remember some guy, I was telling this older guy years ago, when I was metal detecting, we were talking about coins, and I said, yeah, these new pennies don't even have, they're only 2% copper and the rest is zinc.
Right.
And he goes, that's ridiculous. I go, no, I'm not kidding. And so I actually took one out, and I had my shovel, and I actually cut it in half with the shovel. And which would have been hard to do probably with a copper coin. It would have bent, probably bent around it, but
yeah.
But and then I showed him the edge. It's white inside. The zinc's a sacrificial metal. It's very cheap.
Well, I remember back when they first went over to that zinc penny or whatever, they were saying it was costing a penny and a half to make a penny. To make an actual penny or something like that. It was. I get it, but geez, make them thinner or something like that or whatever. I don't know. It seems like you got a bunch of. What's that, Pauline?
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. Yeah, get rid of them. It's like a waste.
I think it costs 8 cents for each nickel now or something.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Print some more up, I guess. Right? That's what they do, anyways. Getting low on money, just print some more up.
That's what they did in Rome.
Yeah, they did here. They've done it here many times.
It's like when I first started watching the Europeans digging up stuff, I was like, God, look at these Roman coins. I bet they're worth a lot of money, and they're worth nothing.
No, there's so many. There's so many of them.
And they used to have to. There was so much inflation. They were taking like wheelbarrows full of those coins to the store to get one loaf of bread.
Yeah.
God. And you're going, man, that's crazy. But they debased the coins to the point where they weren't worth anything.
Yeah, we dig them on. We do dig a lot of pennies and stuff. I don't mind the wheat pennies, and of course the Indian heads are nice and everything. I don't even really mind Lincolns except the new ones. It just drives you crazy. You get into some spots. I swear somebody goes out there and just throws 2 rolls of pennies out and randomly around to the sites I hunt sometimes. It seems like I get tons of them. Old school bus stops, Craig, are notorious for pennies. It's like they're nice when they're wheat pennies at least, but even that's kind of wearing off for me. I don't mind finding them, of course, but just getting over the modern clutter or the modern clad to get down to the good stuff, and you got to get that stuff out of the way anyways. But I don't know, I haven't taken my clad in this year yet, but I haven't been out as much as I have in years past. But I mean, you start filling up coffee cans with change, it's time to start taking them to the coin master and just getting rid of them, so
yeah,
and keep all the good stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it seems like, I think I mentioned this before, I like the 1920s stuff. I know that, I think it's going to be the next realm when the Civil War stuff kind of really fades off a lot, and we're not finding as much of that. I think the World War I stuff and stuff is going to be pretty popular. There's a lot of ornate stuff in the 1920s and 30s, or really from 1900 up until 1937 or something like that. You had a lot of ornate kind of brass and copper, etched things, and whether it's pocket watch covers or rouge containers, or I even have a poppy pen that was made of copper, which it's got to be right after World War I. It's the only one I've ever seen, really. And I found that in the middle of a field, and it was folded up. Luckily, I was able to straighten it out a little bit. I probably put a picture of that on Facebook. I need to. But I like the old lipstick tubes and stuff like that. Real small ones, man. There'd be so much design on them and stuff. It just shows the character of the piece, I think. So yeah, 1920 stuff I don't mind so much. But you get anything newer than other than clad. I mean, 64 or something like that. It's going to be silver. But after that, I don't know. Really, not really worth a lot. It's just fun to find, and we do find a ton of it.
Yeah.
There's been more money lost in the ground than there's been minted in the world, I guess. So, well, that's why somebody was saying that.
No,
I believe
there's about 5 to 10 times more money in the ground in the ocean than that is in circulation.
Right.
But I guess it was Captain Fizz, Carl Fismer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a famous treasure diver.
Right.
And guys, found just awesome stuff. That Cobb that I found, he found 10,000 of them or 11,000 of them on one ship, and sold every one but 5.
Yep. All I know is we keep on finding stuff.
He said there is so much gold in the ocean, they'll never find it all. Mm-hmm. He said it's just, there's been more ships that have been lost at sea with the, cargoes of this stuff. It's like that thing that the Incredible or whatever that.
Oh,
they were dived. What was that called?
It was the Shipwreck of the Unbelievable, or something like that.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Treasure of the Unbelievable. Yeah. It's on Netflix still. That is, if you guys haven't watched that, man, I tell you what, it is just the beauty of the statues and the gold Medusa head. I mean, we're talking huge gold.
Don't give it all away.
Well, what? Oh, well, I can't. I'm not giving it away. My wife said I'm giving it away, but I give you a few things because you're still not going to believe it until you see it. Just the sheer size of stuff.
That whole thing was a myth. They found out it was a myth, and it was actually true. And they even had in the myth that gave a manifest of what was there.
Yep.
And so I remember that was just unbelievable. It was so lucky that I guess it was some Africans had seen it in the water, shallow enough where it was, they could see it, and they ended up pulling it up. And they saw a TV program on it, and the guy went out there and ended up finding, this stuff.
Well, the first thing they found, Craig, if you remember right, was that I'm going to call it a ship bow pin. That brass or bronze. It's like 2 foot long. It was
broken.
It was broken, but they said it came from the largest ship ever built at that time, and it was a huge ship, I guess. I mean, but that's what really got them thinking, right off the bat. So yeah, I mean, we're talking that last statue. I mean, we're talking 2 stories tall. These weren't little items. These were big, it's big time treasure, and they were from all eras. It was just the most unique stuff. You got to watch it. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's a treasure in search of the treasure of the unbelievable. It's on Netflix, and it's a documentary. It's right up there with Odyssey, and all the treasure they have found. What was different about this was that they found it all. They built a museum. They put it in it. Then they released that they had found this and all the document. That was the one smart thing they did, because everybody knows that Odyssey found all the millions of dollars in treasure and ended up giving it to Spain. Because of they were trying to do the right thing.
And the guy's in jail, and he won't give up where he's hidden his money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a different one too. That's another one. Yeah. It gets crazy. They see dollar signs and all. You just got to be careful. Be smart. If you find something crazy like that, just I don't know. Talk to somebody, but don't put it all over the internet. You get it with Tom, Dick, and Harry jumping out of the woodwork at you. I think we've all been there once or twice anyways, with stuff we found and everything. You kind of wonder, should I put this up on Facebook? Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, people get crazy over an old silver coin and stuff.
Oh, I know, yeah. Those people that found gold coins. Oh, good. Sorry.
I've had guys about lose their minds when I showed them, something some real or something I found on the site. It was like they were like in total shock, and they were, mad as hell. Trying to, acting. Oh man, I was like, God.
Well, you just don't realize the people, that found the gold coins over in California in the can on the walking trail. And I don't even know how much money they spent. They probably spent as much money as those coins are worth fighting to keep those coins. They said they were trying to tell them it was from a robbery of a mint back in 1900 whatever, and everything. It wasn't even the coins. It wasn't even
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, I mean it was just, but it cost them the lawyers and all the publicity and all the crap that goes along with that. I mean, a lot of it was good from our side of the fence, I'm sure, but I'm sure those people dealt with a whole lot of BS throughout that, harassment and everything else, just because they found something. Finders keepers, the way I look at it. You find something in the middle of nowhere on a walking trail. I mean, God, just let them have their day, let them have their 15 minutes of fame, come on. But yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up the show tonight, Craig, and, we'll hit it again on Saturday. It's already 9:30, man. It went by fast. Whew.
Yeah.
I guess I talked too much. I don't know. I must rattle off really fast. But crazy day.
Slow down, you make the show. Slow down, you make the show longer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what they'll tell me. I just need to put Pauline on here so we can have a few more 4-hour shows, because everybody likes them. You up for a 4-hour show, babe?
Sure.
Yeah, not today though. Bless her heart, she's dealing with a sinus infection again, or whatever. I don't know what it is. They say it's not a virus. It's not a flu. It's her ears are all messed up and sore and everything, and eyes are watered. And, it's just allergies, as near as I can tell. I kind of got the same thing going on. And my voice, you guys hear my voice every week. You can hear. Some days I'm almost, got laryngitis just about, and it's really not for anything but the allergies down here. But yeah, she's battling that again, and so we got her hopped up on over-the-counter stuff, I think, right? She said, yeah, it's not enough. But yeah, hopefully she gets to feeling a little bit better anyways. I haven't got it real bad yet, but my voice goes in and out, but we'll see how it does on Saturday. I'll be out there. Hopefully I have something good to report as far as what I find. It'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to find some, I'd be really happy if I could find stuff from the 1850s. I mean, that's what I figured. I know, knock on wood, I'm hoping I can find stuff earlier than that. But, that's just one item from that era. I'm not setting my expectations real high, but, just one good find. That's what I go into every hunt with, and everything else. Just find one good thing. So we'll see how it works out. And unless I, wake up Saturday morning, I'll get everything loaded in the truck. And, of course, it'll rain like crazy. But, that I figured it out, Craig. I'm going to hunt. As long as it's not thunder and lightning, I'll be out there in a pair of shorts and flip-flops with my Quest Pro because it's waterproof. I could throw it in the river and it ain't going to break. Yes, it's actually good down to, I think, 16 feet under the water, which is, I think, more than most of them are, at least the VLF side, which is kind of cool. But
yeah.
I just don't know if I want to hunt in the rain or not. It'd be a mess, but it'd be fun. Get to play in the dirt, man. Be like a 10-year-old playing in a dirt pile. So come back covered in mud. I have to get some photos of that. But that's what probably will happen is I'll get everything loaded up and head that way, and it'll start dumping rain again. But hopefully not. Try to keep a positive attitude. Glass half full. That's what my wife tells me, because I'm always glass half. I'm a pessimist, so I just believe in Murphy's Law.
We used to wear raincoats sometimes and put bags around the machine and hunt in the woods. Wouldn't be as bad in the woods, but I've hunted in the rain plenty of times in the old days.
Yeah, these storms.
The trouble is that from like your knees down, it gets wet.
Oh yeah. I don't mind that. It's just when your hands start getting muddy, and you're on the detector and your fine bag, and pretty soon you're just covered in mud. And that's okay until you got to clean up. It sucks because she won't let me in the house. She sees it. I've come in before covered just in weed eating and lawn mowing and stuff like that. You're not coming in this house. You might as well go to the laundry room out there and get changed right there. She'll bring me a set of clothes out. All the dirt and grass and all that. So I'm just going to grab a shower. Nope, you can strip out there, put something on, and come back in the house and do that because we have our laundry room and stuff is separate from our house. So, yeah, she doesn't like dirt in the house, dirt on the floor. She likes a clean house. So, at any rate, I'm going to let you kind of sign off for tonight, guys. We'll hit it again Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Spreaker, Spreaker.com again. And, check out the other shows. I mean, I say it every week. I think you'll be surprised if you sit there and take 5 minutes and kind of go through the different kinds of shows on there. I think you'll probably find another one you guys like. I mean, they got a little bit of everything on there: sports, news, talk. I've seen carpentry, radio shows, and I think there's even a beer, how to make your own beer, that kind of thing. They have podcast radio shows about that. So I mean, there's a ton of different topics on Spreaker. I mean, you can most of them you can download. I think, Craig, can't you? I haven't come across one where you couldn't download an archive show yet. I'm sure they're getting into that. Maybe you have to pay something now. I don't know. But I think Spreaker was pretty much free on that part of it. But download as much as you like. That's what I'd say. Shoot, listen to them on the way to work. So,
yeah.
Anyways, guys, glad you guys tuned in. Please like and follow the show. Tell a friend because really we only go through Facebook and a few other venues to kind of get the show out there. But if you tell a friend and they're into hobbying, any kind of really metal detecting or what have you, there's a show for them on there. So let them know. But Craig, I'll talk to you probably tomorrow because I need to call you anyway. Everybody else will talk to you on Saturday night. All right, Craig, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, guys. Guys, get out there, keep digging, and God bless.